Hi everyone in English 2323, it's Dr. E and I'm here with the weekly supplemental video for week 10. I think it's week 10, yeah. So instead of talking about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, which is a fabulous story, right, but which we also wrote about, I want to instead take this time to kind of talk about the technology that's going to be necessary for you to complete your work this week. So we are doing peer review. Often when I say peer review, that can kind of stress some people out, and I completely understand. It's kind of nerve-wracking to share your work with other people, but I want you to note that peer review in this course is really just about kind of helping one another. So instead of you feeling like you're giving your work to your group and saying, hey, judge me, you're saying, hey, help me, I need some help. So if you've had some bad experiences with peer review in the past, many of us have, just kind of delete that from your mind because we're going to start fresh and really work to provide useful feedback, constructive feedback to one another in a positive way. All right, so if you take a look at D2L, there is an announcement about downloading a free version of Microsoft Word. It's going to be imperative that you have a version of Word. Some of you don't, and that's okay. That's why we have access to free downloads as students and faculty and staff at Lone Star College. So download that to your tablet or device. Those of you who have Macs, this is especially for you because a lot of you have been submitting in Pages format, which can't be opened in D2L. So this is just something that you'll want to do as a student in general. It will help you in your college career to have a working version of Microsoft Word, not to mention PowerPoint, Excel, any of those things that you may need an updated version of or a version of at all to kind of continue on as a college student, okay? So if you click on that link, here, it will take you to the Office of Technology Services, which is a useful website to kind of be familiar with. So note this address, bookmark it, on your computer if need be. If you click on Student Resources, it takes you down to these options. You can reset your password. You can, investigate some about Wi-Fi and computer resources, but we're focused just right now on getting software. So the Microsoft 365 and OneDrive options are right here. And you just need to follow this link, right? So you can log in to My Lone Star and go to your student email tile, or just go directly to Office. So if you click on this, it will take you to this website eventually. Oh, I'm already logged in. Okay, so it will take you to the website, and that's where you will use your LSC email address and password. Okay, so it just needs to confirm, the Microsoft site needs to confirm that you're associated or affiliated with Lone Star College, and then it will start the process of downloading. If you have any questions or anything, there is, a set of instructions right here, so just click on those. It's just going to be really important that you utilize Microsoft Word this week so that you can download one another's work. You're going to be posting your paper portfolio in a D2L, you need to post it in Word format. Then, as somebody who's reviewing somebody else's work, you're downloading it in Word format and using Word to then offer some feedback. So it's just going to be important that you set that up. So in order to kind of give you an idea of where to go and what to do in Microsoft Word, I'm just going to use our template as an example. This is the template that's posted for the portfolio. So I'm just using it generally. So what we really want to focus our attention on up here is the review section. Some of you may not see review depending on, I'm using a Mac, so mine looks a little bit different from what you'll see on your own computer if you're using a PC. But you may have tools instead of review. Just find the corresponding area, and if you need to, you can do a search or you can ask for help, right? If you go up, I'm out of video range right now, but I'm going to click on the help menu, right? And you can search track changes. But if you click review, options are opened up down here, and you just want to make sure that this one is turned on. This means that anything you type in here will look different. So if I don't turn this on and I start typing, then it'll just look like text. And it won't be able to stand out on the page for, once you share this with the original author in your group, they won't be able to see your feedback, right? So if you go and turn track changes on and you start typing, you'll see the difference, right? It's in a different color. it's something that stands out on the page. I'm not particularly fond of the red because it brings back memories, right, of you know, having red ink all over our writing when we had middle school or high school teachers. Just ignore it. So it's really useful because then even in the paragraph, you can say, you can offer that feedback. So though this is an opportunity, sure, to kind of offer some feedback about things like grammar or MLA or spelling, we really want to focus on people's ideas, right? And make sure that they are effectively communicating their ideas about whatever readings they're addressing in that paper topic post, right? That they're revising. So, you know, you can still be positive, you know. You know, this is overall a great paragraph, but I wonder if, you know, in this last sentence you could. So it's about providing, yes, praise and recognizing what the people have done well, which I want you to do, but it's also really focusing on where are you losing track of those ideas? Where is a place where this person maybe needs to adjust the quote so that it fits in the sentence, right? So we're going into the writing and offering that direct feedback in Microsoft Word, okay? That's why you need Microsoft Word. You can also highlight an area and click New Comment, and it will then highlight, and over on the right-hand side, it will make a comment that just runs down the right. I prefer to write within the text, within the paragraphs to give feedback, but that is up to you. That's a personal preference. I just think it's easier for me to see that kind of feedback when I'm getting peer reviewed, you know, for some of my work. So remember that your purpose as a reviewer is to help one another. Your grade is dependent upon that help being useful and constructive. So you'll note that for this week, you have a grade for the document that you upload by Thursday, your portfolio, okay? I'm going to go in and see, does this person have the right number of posts that have been revised? Are there abstract paragraphs for every post? Is it in MLA format? Your grade is dependent on you submitting it on time and submitting the right kind of work. So review the guidelines, review, you know, the rubric, everything that's posted in this week. But then you'll also receive a grade for the kind of feedback you provide to all of your group members. So if I open up the first, you know, first response that you gave, or the first set of feedback that you gave to one person in your group, and I see, oh, that's really good, that's useful. I'm seeing a lot of notes here. The tone is very positive and supportive, but still you're offering constructive feedback. That's great. But then if I open the next set of feedback you provide to a different person in your group, and it's just one sentence at the very end, your grade will be affected by that. So you're responsible for posting your work by Thursday. I always suggest you do so earlier. And then I know that between Thursday and Sunday, it's a lot of work to peer review for 2 to 3 people, depending on your group. So set aside that time. If your group members post early, then start their feedback early, okay? So just something to keep in mind. You want useful feedback in your grade, depends on that, okay? So going back to Microsoft Word, what I really need to stress as well is that in order to share this with the original author, so I've done all my feedback. I'm going to then respond to this person and upload this document so they can see my feedback. I need to save it as a PDF. Now, don't be thrown by this. This is just so that you are ensuring that that person can see your feedback, because if you post it as a Word document, they may not see the track changes features, right, and all the comments that you've made. So in order to avoid any of that confusion, we save it as a PDF, because a PDF is essentially just an image. So if you go back to Microsoft Word, I'm off screen, but I'm at the File tab at the very top left, and I'm going to click Save As from that drop-down menu. A window is going to open, and yours may look a little bit different, and that's okay. It will generally have the same options. I'm going to save this as, you know, say I'm reviewing Mary's work. And then I'm just going to put my name at the end so that Mary, when she, you know, goes to find these documents, she knows that this is my feedback. Okay, I'm going to save it in my desktop because that's just easier to go back and find it. What we really want to focus on is not just clicking save after that. We want to go to file format, and from this drop-down menu, select PDF. Okay, I'm working with a Mac again, so mine is going to ask me to export. But if you're working with a PC, yours will likely say something like save here. It doesn't matter, just select it and click it. And that's the document that you will then go and post by Sunday at the latest for the people you are helping in your peer review group. Okay, you have been placed in groups. I know that this doesn't always work out, but if you do not see somebody in your group posting their work by Friday afternoon, if you're the only person in your group who's posted, you need to let me know, okay? Because that's not ideal. You deserve feedback, and I don't want you to be in a group that is not being involved or engaged. So I'll figure out something so that you get some feedback in order to then do your revisions down the road. But you have to let me know as soon as you can. All right, if you have any questions about this, you can post in the Q&A area of D2L, or you can shoot me an email. But as I always say, if you have the question, it's possible and probable that other people in the class do. So posting in the Q&A area can be really helpful. But again, the sooner the better in terms of reaching out to me or reaching out to the Office of Technology Services if you're encountering some sort of technology issue. All right, I hope that you get a lot out of this process. I know that it's a lot of information coming at once, so review all the materials that have been posted. And this is something that's going to be super helpful for your writing in general. All right, hang in there.